out their trek from Long Island to Staten Island this morning. That area is still in chaos. The power is out, the roads have been washed away, and the body count is rising. Chris Gloninger is live right now on Staten Island to fill us in further on just how they are making out today. And I know this has been really very difficult for you personally just to see the level of this devastation.
Liz, it has been, and for my crew, Chet, who's operating the live shot, and my photographer, Ed Curley. This has been very difficult to see, and we saw, obviously, Schoharie and the Schoharie Valley after Irene. Magnify that by probably 100 times. Not necessarily the damage, but just the wide scale that we're seeing from all 5 boroughs almost, seeing significant impacts. And if it wasn't the tidal surge that caused damage, it were the high winds. And we're not showing you those pictures because this is obviously a lot more extreme. But there are numerous roads that are shut down due to down power lines and trees all throughout the city. I want to start off by showing you, this is an area we're trying to get to a little bit later on this afternoon. And we've been told it's a 2-mile walk because a lot of these areas are still impassable. And that's due to the power lines and trees that are down. You see those utility companies that are in the middle of the roadway trying to take some of those lines at least down, not even restoring power at this point. They're just triaging the situation. Now, the effect of the tidal surge here, we're in southern and eastern Staten Island. This section of town is called South Beach. And this is what the tidal surge did behind this unmarked police car. You can see it ripped the siding away. I don't even know how these buildings are structurally sound anymore. And in fact, one resident told me he's pretty sure that all of these coastal homes will be condemned since they received so much water damage. And these were some of the homes that we were touring around this morning. And there are signs that people are starting to rebuild and recover. There's one gentleman who's been trying to take down that siding, the plywood that he covered his windows with the high winds and storm surge to prevent any of those windows from breaking. For one man, though, and his pregnant wife, they tried to ride out this storm, and he said it was the most tense 12 hours of his entire life.
And the water raised from the beach, hit the sand past the main road, hit the house and 3 houses behind me.
Did you evacuate?
We tried to evacuate it. We called too many places and we can't get it in. This is the problem. We called the hotels because...
You rode out the storm here.
Right. I was here in the storm because, like I told you, I tried to call the hotel because my wife, she's pregnant and she expects the baby in 10 days.
The gentleman who lives in this red house said he heard the waves crashing against his first floor. In fact, the water was as high as this stop sign. And when the waves became too much, the glass gave way and inundated his house. One of your neighbors lost his life during this.
Right. Actually, it's one of the neighbors. Actually, they called 911, the response to risk somebody in the house because she's scared and she can't get out. And the cop come and he tried to get it in. And when he got it in, the storm started. As soon as the storm started, he tried to get her and the circuit breaker hit his body and he dropped it.
It really has taken teamwork to navigate these city streets. I'm from Long Island originally. In my 29 years coming in and out of the city, this is so difficult to navigate due to the down trees, the roads that are washed away and in some cases covered in power lines. Also, mass transit for the most part isn't operational. So for the residents that are trying to get back to work, they're walking across bridges they normally don't walk over. And they also are driving into work. So the traffic has been a nightmare. Another sign and other signs that this tidal surge occurred is look at these 2 handbags right here. This is Sand Lane that goes into a boardwalk that is right on the ocean. Who knows where they're from? And people that live along this beachfront have said that they've had belongings from other people wash in from miles and they don't know who they belong to or anything. And the other sad note is there are a lot of people that are unaccounted for, that loved ones and family members and friends that they haven't been able to get in touch with. And hopefully that's just because the cell phone service hasn't been good. Unfortunately, the residents here do expect that death toll to increase as the days progress and the cleanup continues. For now, we are live in Staten Island. Chris Gloninger, CBS 6 News. And I know, Liz, you do have a couple of questions first.
Yeah, just as I've been listening to you right now and some of the things that I've read earlier today, first of all, I think that that man that was electrocuted was actually, I just read about him, an off-duty police officer who was trying to get that family to safety and went down into the basement and came across some live wires. And from what I'm reading, there have been 7 people who have died in Staten Island that they're aware of so far. And it seems, Chris, that nothing was safe, whether it was a basement or an attic. They were just about everywhere, and the storm found them and took them. So are you finding that is there a lot of help coming to this area? Because who knows about those live wires, where they could be?
That's absolutely right, Liz. And they're trying to do their best job by killing off the electricity. So these wires that are down aren't causing them that won't cause issues for people. When they're obviously in puddles, they can get electrocuted. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to triage the situation first. That gentleman that you saw in the piece, he actually spent the entire storm with his pregnant wife on the second floor of his home. And he heard at 6:20 in the evening, as the storm was making landfall, his bay window breaking in, and his entire first floor was inundated with water. And these are the stories that we're hearing. And let me tell you, these first responders, the NYPD, the FDNY, are absolutely amazing. And what they're putting up with and dealing with and seeing, I can't imagine.
I think you're right, and we're going to let you gather some more information for us. Thank you for that very complete report, and we'll be checking back with you over the course of the rest of the day to see what else that you found, and also perhaps to see how we might be able to help, because one thing that's
right.
very clear is that there are an awful lot of people that are going to need help as the days go on.
That's right, Liz.
All right.